Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel, guys. Do not forget to subscribe. We're just doing the post-fight interview analysis, the calm after the storm of our best quick detailer, Heat 3. And here's the results with the least amount of marks. You can see the marks there, the chemical guys and the Koch. Then the Michelin King, then the Beadmaker, then the AMPLIFY. It's all relatively close, but these two are definitely down here. The rest of them, it's relatively close. The Gtechniq, the Carbon Collective, and the Griots, and the Autoglym. And here's our other winners. So first of all, the top two from the previous heats go through. So it was like BSD and Turtle Wax and these two, Alchemy Sugarcoat and Maguire's. Yeah, I've got a good understanding of these products. I'm just looking at them and I know how they're different. Now, we'll do the informal lowdown here, and we'll start with the elephant in the room. That's a really good elephant, that it tends to be the products which are delivering all of those measurable test criteria, performance elements, price, everything, that's going to win. So it makes it harder for traditional detailers, like maybe the Koch and the Michelin King, to get up on the podium. Yeah, it does. But you've got the data there to be able to skew that. And that's why we're trying to do these videos and talk about these products as well, because it's not just the case of the most points wins. Yes, for me, again, in this particular test, the Autoglym, I'm just going to tell you which ones I think I would go for. I don't think I would go for that product. It's more a spray sealanty, or it's still a ceramic detailer. You can use wet or dry, you use it as a drying aid. So it is kind of still a ceramic detailer, but there are products I've seen that can outperform this as an all-rounder in every way, with price, slickness. Well, maybe not slickness. It was really slick on the panel. Much lower roll down angle. So it is good on that. There's a reason for it. It's there because all the functional testing was good. The gloss testing, the durability and hydrophobicity were on the podium in third place. But later on, what was podium's third place within this field might be bottom order compared to some of these products. So I think this, well, we'll see. That's what this is all about. Yeah, I just think it's a good, solid product, but I think there are better, and it's going to get found out a bit later on, possibly, but maybe not. We crunch it, we see what happens. I slightly prefer these two products, although it's interesting. The Griots is a durability product for me. It's deceptively durable, because it's not as hydrophobic as some other things. It's decent on that front, but it's actually a really durable material that is reasonably easy to use. And you can do all that spray wax stuff with it and dry your car with it. Yeah, it's very high quality kind of packaging, good user experience. This is one of the better performers in there. It only had struggled on the slickness for some reason. It was, yeah, I don't know, just wasn't slick. Although you couldn't feel it with the hand, but definitely with that tilt table test, I'm playing around with that for ages after writing the results and doing the ranking. I just go back through and keep repeating it just to make sure it's right, because most of these it's hard to feel the difference. But yeah, that was in the lower order on that surface friction, and normally I see ceramics better than that. But good, yeah. Thing is, it's good hydrophobic performance and good durability within this field, where it's actually quite an easy field to excel in. Again, I'm worried that might get outgunned. And I do have a problem that I'm going to have to put potentially 3 through to the final, because they got the same amount of points. It's not a massive problem though. I'm quite happy to put those through to the final. We still have wild card, where we still have the possibility to put a wild card through, don't we? There's 2 products that I'm thinking about as wild cards. One, I really liked the Labo Cosmetica SI Perfector or something, whatever it's called. I thought it was good. And I'm not sure if I should put the Built Hamber QD through, which was a third place, 41 points. The thing is, if I put the Built Hamber going through, it'll just, a bit like the Koch and the Michelin King have been outdone on all that performance around durability and testing, the same thing will happen to Built Hamber, and it will probably come last, so it's just pointless. But the reason is it's such a high value product and versatile, but it's not going to outperform these products. So yeah, I probably won't. But the SI Perfector from Labo is good, and I think that one would be a better wild card personally. So there we go. I hope you're getting an idea of what some of these do. Good all-rounder without the slickness, good durable spray wax, a good performance product. Interestingly, the top performers are all the most expensive ones, with the exception of that. We'll talk about that a bit later on. Just looking at these two products here, these are less performance orientated, more versatile, quick detailers that give you a good boost to protectivity, but it's not enough protection that you could use them on their own. These, you could use them, that's all you'd need. You could use it as a detailer, but also use it as a sealant. They're the whole smorgasbord. These are more traditional, good all-round detailers, very hydrophobic, but not so durable, quite pricey, a little bit cheaper, mid-order kind of performance, but it's done well. That's a good detail spray, actually. Yeah, really good. It's just priced on the money, £10. It does everything it says. They just need to tell you about using it as a drying aid, which I seem to have a thing about with that, but I think you should get that on there. And the bigger brands tend to include and get that user experience right, and they've gone to a lot of effort with all this, so it's just important to let people know you can use it that way, and that would have actually, well, it would have got it another mark. But yeah, I think that's kind of done well, but not quite hit the podium. Yeah, a good hydrophobic ceramic SiO2 detailer, but without the really juicy performance of some other ones on the market. But it's a well-regarded product. It is nice and premium. Yeah, it's a good effort, that is. It's a decent... I don't think there's anyone that use that and not like it. Now we get through to the more Marmite ones, don't we? Beadmaker. It is a Marmite product. It got so much love, and now it gets so much hate, which is the case of everything, isn't it? But it is a bit of a kind of one-trick pony with its kind of setting and hardening into a really slick and glossy finish, I think. It's a clever chemical, whatever it is, but I don't know, yeah. I'll tell you one thing. It has better durability than you would realise because it's not that hydrophobic. It doesn't demo it. But whatever that film of material is, it is actually a bit more durable than you think. Okay, so perhaps that's why they've sort of developed it as a sort of described more as a long-lasting protection, long-lasting shine. Yeah, it's interesting. I see it as more of a unique paintwork dressing material that puts down a lovely, slick, crisp, shell-like layer on your car. People call it dust magnet. I don't have any bad experience of it being a dust magnet. The only bad experience I have with this is it being a bit fiddly to apply on the first application, and the bottle going murky, the chemical going murky through colder winter months. Yeah, but I haven't included that in the test, but that's from you having bottles of it and using it. Mitchell & King Quick Detailer, there is no one that would use this chemical and not think that's a good detail spray chemical. It's priced right on the market at £12.50, slightly above average. Your sort of rough £24 a litre is the rough market average, and this would just be about on it, maybe a little bit over. Yeah, good chemical to lay out and actually use on your car, and does all the traditional functions. The problem you've got, we criticised the trigger on it, and these aren't the best. They atomise okay, but they go all over the place. But you can put it into a stream if you want. Yeah, they drip a little bit. They're the cheaper triggers, and it's on the Koch as well. But I just felt that the labelling, they could really benefit from just a more modern bottle and a better trigger that mates onto it, and just better preamble, better instructions. It looks a bit of a kind of a sort of DIY designed label. You know what I mean? You've done it kind of yourself, whereas you get the professionals in. Look at the difference. I don't need to tell you. I'm giving you opinions, but you can see what I'm basing it on. so they could describe the product better. It smells lovely as well. Got a lovely, like, perfumey smell, but maybe aftershavey, but subtle. Yeah, nice. The problem again is with that lower user experience with the bottle and label and all that, it's also the performance testing in terms of durability and beading. It doesn't do that. It did do well in the gloss testing. So if you like a traditional detailer that's on the market, will serve you well, then that's not a bad shout. But yeah, it was probably never going to do well in this particular test. We've said all we need to say about this one in the main video. Like, it's well written label that really goes into selling this product and why you should use it, and I think that's important, even though you guys are very cynical. But it's the kind of bullet points: rapid water beading. Not really, guys. You could put that on any product that has some hydrophobicity, and there's no how could you ever disprove that. But within the testing we do, this isn't that repellent. Brilliant crystalline shine. Well, okay, again, you can say that. Advanced weather resistance. No, not for me. The durability of this product's not good from what I'm seeing. So it's not lived up to the product claims. And with all these product claims, there's a big price tag. I'd much rather use that chemical guys speed detailer, which just doesn't give me all of this sales stuff and is a lot cheaper and is a good experience. It's bit more sort of similar to a traditional quick detailer, and I think that's where chemical guys are at their best with these products, which were, you know, which was just sort of like really funky to look at and well branded and did a good job. And I think their line's expanded so much, and this hydro line just hasn't delivered for me in any of the testing I've done. Remember that gel light, that blue gel light one that was really dry to lay out. Their ceramic, that blue hydro ceramic sealant just didn't have the performance. So yeah, I always try and get this brand in, because I think they've done well for themselves. You know, you wind the clock back 10 years and everyone was raving about what they did, and now you mention them and everyone will say it's terrible. It's not terrible, but yeah, like I say, the hydro line is bad. I love their Pete's 53 wax. That's in my little Hall of Fame thing. Yeah, you got to, for that sort of money, you've got to give me some of this stuff. You've got to be smacking the hell out of all these ones. You've got to outperform them. The Koch just was on the bottom order for virtually all of the testing, the performance testing, which is just what you might expect. So yeah, second from worst on durability, the worst hydrophobicity. It isn't slick as well. It's the only one that isn't slick. You can actually feel that one was going to lose the slickness test. And the gloss rating was down on it, and it didn't really have a good visual effect on the panel as well. You know, the test panel, when you looked at them all out in the light, some of these strips had gone back to jet black. That didn't. So it's, whatever material it is, it seems to me to be more basic. It's very affordable though. So yeah, there you go. So we know what you're getting. You're getting loads of chemicals in a very professional brand, but yeah, not the performance. So that's just a run through of what you're getting, which I think is my interpretation of it. Yeah, and it's reasonably accurate, I think, but it's an opinion. I must state that, because it is just an opinion based on what I can observe. So all this lot through to the final. One more heat to go that I'll crack on with. I am seeing a pattern. So we've got a whole load of really high performing all round products that generally cost a bit more, maybe, but they're not the most expensive in their respective fields. And some of them, so they've given you performance without being really expensive. And most of them are big brands. So big brand, big brand, big brand, big brand, big brand. So smaller brand compared to these, isn't it? And smaller brand, you know, that you could argue that's a new brand and a lot smaller. So yeah, interesting, isn't it? Interesting, because the scene is fickle. The scene will have you believe that its products are way superior, but I think the reality is, over 10 years of doing it, the big brands have developed expertise in certain areas, especially. They've definitely developed expertise in giving you a more unique kind of looking stronger brand identity, better written product instructions and stuff like that, and even very good chemicals. I'm kind of looking at that. That's a very good detailer, that product is. Meguiar's won't sell you. They don't get detailers wrong, do they? They get their abrasives. They're good technical products, actually, some of the Meguiar's. Just the problem is can be the price if you're buying it off the shelves sometimes. But if you get some deals on their chemicals, they're all right. Or very good, in fact. That's a good product, that is. That dangerous to pre-predict. Dangerous to pre-predict. Yeah, so maybe I won't. I'm looking at this field, and it's, I think, just off the top of my head, these two products are more up my street. That isn't. That's a good ceramic detailer, but I think it might get out hustled, but we'll see. It might get outperformed. It's going to get out slickness, according to what I've seen. It's going to get out beaded and out durability'd. It's going to get out user experience because they haven't directed you too well about what you can do with it. Yeah, but it could be an underdog. You do the testing, it may surprise. That could still be in with a little shout, couldn't it? Even though it's not slick, it's going to fall out on that. But everything else, it's probably going to do quite well, and it's so popular. So yeah, we're getting to the final, guys. And do I look back at these and think any of these should be in the finals? Absolutely not with those five. That's the only one that some people might argue is a better quick detailer proposition. Someone could make that argument. I'd be like, I could get it, but it's just not as beefy, which has happened to other products like the Tax Systems Shiny Wax, like the Angel Wax Quick Detailer. They give you a bit of protective, they give you a bit of everything, they're all reasonably priced. They are perhaps the better quick detailers, but they get out. You can see the horsepower on display here. That's like bringing a 4-pot turbo to a V12 motoring exhibition. They've been out hustled. So I hope you found Heat 3 interesting. I'll be cracking on trying to get Heat 4 done this week if possible, and then we'll go on to the grand final. Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in seeing all this. Otherwise, bye for now.